Hi everybody. Today is the follow-up to our discussion topic on how to ensure your animals are taken care of if you have to go away and can't take them with you, or if you just want a vacation and you don't want to bring all of your dogs with you. Totally fine to want to go away and not have to feed everybody all the time. For my crew, I have 4 dogs. I used to have a cat, but she's no longer with us, and so that makes things simpler. I just have the 4 dogs, and I have 2 horses outside, but that's another topic. The 4 dogs don't always get along without some responsible management in place. They're high drive dogs, high energy dogs, big feeling dogs, whatever you want to label them as. And if the routine changes and maybe they're not getting the exercise or the stimulation that they're used to, I don't really feel safe that things would go perfectly harmoniously if they were here with, the average house sitter that might not be a dog trainer or might not be experienced with a whole pack of dogs or dogs with the big feelings like I tend to have. So my 2 trips, one that I just got back from and one that I'm going on, look a little differently because on the future trip I'm taking dogs with me. But I just flew out for a weekend. I flew to teach in another community, and I could have flown one dog with me, but she sounds sensitive, so my choice was to leave everybody at home and to divide and conquer. So my little American Eskimo is kind of the troublemaker, and he's very anxious, so when things change, it's hard on him. And luckily we have a friend whom he adores. Hi Amy. And she has dogs his size and his breed type, so he gets along really well at her house, and she does put some management in place because the 2 males there, mine and hers, who's similar, need a little bit of help sometimes, not protecting her or not protecting spaces and things like that. And her cats try to sleep on Riker. He's not really keen on that plan, and but I completely trust her to take care of him, and that's where he goes. So I can leave him with her for an extended period if needed, or just for a day or what have you, and I know that he is safe. So that is kind of my go-to right now, is to take him out of the home and put him in a safe place where he's going to have a blast. Alternatively, if she's not available, my parents can take him. He's 17 pounds. They walk him on a leash, and if there's problems, like he doesn't like German Shepherds, so if there's a German Shepherd, they can just pick him up. No big deal. So he has a couple of options for safe places for him to go with people that he cares about and he trusts. My other 3, I have the 2 border collies and Max, the blind older dog. So Max, I don't really feel comfortable sending her away out of the home because she's blind and she's older and she's anxious. I want her to stay at home where she feels safe. Me being away is hard enough on her because she's quite reliant on me for everything. She's by my feet right now. So I don't want to send her out of the home. The 2 border collies would do well anywhere as long as they're with somebody who understands border collies. My younger border collie is reactive, so she would need to be with somebody that understands that. It just gets messy if I try to send them all somewhere else. So my plan is to bring someone into the house. And luckily with this last trip and with my future trip, my husband's schedule lined up so he was home. But he's on call, so I always have someone on backup in case he has to leave, so that a person that I trust can come and stay at the house. And by trust, I don't need a dog trainer. I don't need somebody who is super knowledgeable about dogs. I just need somebody that's going to come, can follow my rules. I'll have everything lined out. These are acceptable behaviors in the house. These are acceptable behaviors outside. Don't let the border collies try to convince you otherwise. This is their medication and their feeding routine. And I'll pre-fill a bunch of Kongs and Topples. Some of you may have seen my picture of my freezer. When I went away for a weekend, I probably had 50 food toys stuffed. And that was just for the 3 dogs. And the other thing is I'll put more structure in place when someone's here with my dogs when I'm not here, because if I'm here and things are, I can keep an eye on things, but I wouldn't want to put a lot of pressure on people who might not be doggy experienced the way I am, to see the same kind of warning signs that they need to step in and help somebody make appropriate choices. So when I'm away, if I have someone staying here, then I will say Kongs get fed in crates. I'll just have that as a hard rule. I won't say, oh, just keep an eye and make sure they don't steal from each other, because that's a lot of responsibility to put on a person, even though that's how I manage them. When I don't put them in crates. When I give them Kongs, it'll make me feel safer and just simplify, reduce the risk of any resource guarding or somebody getting in a scrap when I'm not here. If I just put some really clearly defined boundaries and rules and just routines in place for the people that'll be staying with my dogs. So that was when I was lucky with the last trip. My husband was home, the 3 dogs were here, the 3 black and whites were here with him, and Riker was with my friend Amy. Now, I'm going to be going to nationals with the 3 black and whites, Rikers. My husband's is going to be home. His schedule, we just found out he will be home, so Riker will be home with him. But Amy's going to pick him up for a few days and take him on vacation with her to this great, I don't know, I think she said 10 or 400, I don't know, big acreage where he'll get to run and chase bunnies and play with his friends. So even though he is going to be fine at home, he has the opportunity to go and play with other Spitz pups and go and have a really great time with Amy. So those are my 2 plans for the latest 2 trips. But I have a lot of clients too that might not have the same options, or they might have a human aggressive dog. And luckily at this point, as long as you're careful with the Eskimo, I don't have any of those issues to consider. But kennels can be a great place too. If you need to put your dog in a kennel, my recommendation is, if that isn't going to necessarily be easy for your dog, talk to your vet about getting some medication for the kennel staff. Try it out beforehand, do some day visits. So if I was going to away for 2 weeks and I didn't have someone to stay in my home, or it wasn't safe for that to happen because of some human aggression issues, or whatever it is that needs to happen that makes it unsafe for the dog and a person to be here, then I would go to the kennel, do a couple of day visits, maybe do an overnight, see how my dog's doing, have my vet on board. Maybe the dog needs some anti-anxiety medication or sedatives to help that trip be okay for them. We don't want them to struggle. Medication has a great role in these scenarios. Similarly to if you're going camping, a lot of people will get just a little bit of happy pill to take their dogs camping so that it's not just overwhelming for them. We can get some medical help with by talking to your vet in those cases. So you don't have to feel that your dog needs to struggle all that much. We can help them if they have to go in a kennel and that's not a happy place for them. But do go on vacation. Don't be held hostage at home by your dogs. It's important that you still live your life, and your dogs will be fine. They'll get through it, and we can help them by doing some preparation beforehand. So setting up that structure, doing day trips to the kennel if that's where they're going to be, or day trips to the person you're going to leave them with, and make sure that they're kind of set up so it's not just bam all at once. There's no warm up, and there's no medical help, and there's just, we don't want it to be a complete overwhelming and exciting time for your dog. We want to make sure that we set them up for success. I think that's it for me, and I'm just reading my notes here. Yeah, that's it. So that's how I handle my dogs, and that's how I usually talk to my clients when they want to go away and they have a dog. They don't have a setup already for their dog about things to think about. And I hope everyone gets to go on some nice warm trips and have lots of fun camping and doing all the things that we like to do.